Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, That's Ready Homeschool. My name is Mrs. T. Today we're going to be talking all about my homeschool morning routine here in our house. Now this has been a routine that we've been adding to and kind of scaffolding up and up and up over the last 2 years. So if you've happened to have seen my video from 2 years ago where I talk about our morning routine, we actually have a lot in common. You can see that those elements still exist in our morning routine today. But our routine today is a little bit larger. So we're going to talk about our routine that we have with our 2 kids. We have a first grader and a pre-kindergartner. Now, like every person out there, our morning routine starts with waking up. So my kids are early risers and they always have been. But right now in this season, we have them emerge from their rooms. They're allowed to get up around 6:15 and they're usually starting breakfast by 6:30. They need to eat right away. Otherwise, it's the end of the world. So actually at 6:30-ish, Dad gives them breakfast. Now, I am not responsible for breakfast, I would say 90% of the time, and I get to stay in bed. So I'm cozy. I'm usually snuggling a cat and just enjoying my morning. But the kids will have breakfast, and oftentimes they will pick one of two things. They either like to just talk to each other, talk about the night, kind of talk about what's going on, talk about typical kid things, or 2, they like to listen to something. And almost always they will listen to their Tony box. Now, if you don't know what a Tony box is, it's this guy. It is this soft, squishy, square cube that connects to different characters that have different things like audiobooks and songs on there. So that was like Paddington. That's the whole second Paddington book. We have like a Winnie the Pooh one, which takes things from different movies and different stories. We have like a Wild Kratts one. But anyway, they're these little audiobook things. They're kind of like Yodo, if you've seen them. We bought ours, 3 or 4 years ago now. This is definitely meant for younger people compared to the Yodo, which you can kind of grow a little bit more with your kids. Cost has definitely increased. So if I were to buy this today, I probably wouldn't, not for my children's age and not the current price point. But we have loved it. We've used the heck out of it. We definitely got our money's worth because we do use it most days. Now, sometimes they're not in the mood for a Tony, but they want to listen to something. So sometimes husband will put on different audiobooks, and we just listen through our audiobooks on a phone. So usually if they're enjoying the food, they'll be done in 20 minutes. But sometimes they are still eating by the time I get up at about 7. And at that point, I make myself my morning latte. I have an espresso machine, and I just kind of softly start my morning while the kids finish up breakfast. My husband goes to work, and then the kids and I make our way over to the front room. And we will typically have the kids play, or I will have the kids play while I drink my coffee or my tea, and I take my first part of my morning to read. I love reading, and I definitely have found that if I slice out time for me to read in the morning, I am way more patient. Now, sometimes I get into the bad habit of like I pull up my phone, I'll check social media or I'll check the news, and then next thing I know, it's time for us to start school and I haven't read yet, and those days are definitely harder. So I try to actually put my phone away and not have it near me at all during that first bit in the morning. So usually I have an alarm that goes off at either 8 or 8:30, depending on the day of the week, because some weeks we have earlier activities that we have to get to. So we'll start our school day at 8, but otherwise it's going to be 8:30. And when that alarm goes off, we get dressed and we go on a morning walk if the weather permits it or if the season permits it. So sometimes during winter, this is pretty much like non-existent. But right now in this wonderful weather, we do our morning walks. So we'll go for a nice morning walk, and then we come inside, and we have set the expectation that when we come back from our morning walk, it's time for school. So we've started this little routine that I absolutely love. We light a candle at the beginning of our school day, and at the end of the school day, we blow it out. Now, right now, I want to share with you the candle that we're using because it's so darn cute. This candle was on sale at our grocery store after Christmas last year, and I got a handful of these. They were like $2.50. Like I wiped them out. So we're making our way through our little house candles, And once the wax is out, I like to clean these out and use these for other storage. But it's just a little house. It does smell very wintry because it is a Christmas candle. But I thought it was perfect because it's like the homeschool. It's a home candle. So the kids take turns who lights it. I help them light it. I don't just give my children matches and tell them to go on, but I help them light this. And then that's how we know that we are starting our school day. And that's been a really nice little ritual, especially for their age, because it's something that they're doing physically to like, okay, this is what we're doing now. And it's like a fun thing. They love lighting the candle. Now, one thing that we really like to do is get into a discussion about behavior. I have definitely found that when we have had this kind of drop off our morning routine for XYZ reason, I feel like not that my kids are bad, they're wonderful kids, but we have a little bit of a harder time connecting. And I think talking about emotions and talking about situations and scenarios for their age is really helpful. So we are still using these cards from Ebu. It's called I Heard Your Feelings. And these are really neat. These are basically little illustrated cards with animals. And on the back of them, they have some guided questions to help you and your children discuss a situation and talk about how people are feeling, trying to read the room, and try to kind of discuss what's going on here. So we usually do 1 or 2 of these, and sometimes my kids ask for more, but we try to keep it to about 2 because there are only like 40, is it 46? 48. There are only 48 cards in there, and we've gone through it so many times over the course of 2 years. So we're ready for a change. But anyway, we have those. The other thing that we do is we have started doing these good citizenship conversation cards. But unlike the other one, which has like 1 or 2 cards, new cards every day, this one we have a weekly card, and we will review this weekly card every single day of the school week. So for example, these are a little different. This is going to say something on the front. So in this case, it's when someone falls, and you'll start to talk. What do you do when somebody falls? And then you'll go to the back, and it's going to talk about the polite way, the correct way to handle certain situations. So in this case, don't laugh and ask, are you okay? And help him up. So for me, it's very helpful. There's one that's about respecting your teachers. And we definitely had some good conversations because we had a period of time where we were a little too silly and a little disrespectful, not intentionally. It just kind of comes with being children. But it was good to have that little reminder every single day. And if they start to struggle with some of those, good citizenship traits, then we have something to pull back and be like, okay, it's been a little while, but do you remember what happened with Pig? What happens when somebody falls? And then you can kind of go through it again. So those are really handy, and I really like those. Now, I have 2 kids, like I said, and one of my kids tends to be a little bit hard on themselves. They definitely can be very critical of when they make mistakes and a little bit hesitant because they don't want to make mistakes. And so I have found that it's very part of this whole conversation. It's really nice to work on affirmations. So we are actually working through this I Am, I Can book. We have done this off and on over the last 2 years, and we're back on, and we really, really like these. So basically, each month is going to get a theme. So for example, April's theme is staying calm under pressure. And then every day you have something that you will say. So for example, like on the 18th, you can say, I can do this. And then you kind of talk about, so they'll repeat it. It's like, all right, today we're gonna say, I can do this. Say, I can do this. And then we talk about the things that we can do. And we remind ourselves that even when something is difficult, we can do our best. We can try it, and you can do it. And we have the support to help you do it. That's just an example. But I like these books a lot. And they also have pictures of people from history, from modern and past, who are applicable to the different monthly themes. And I do also like having little conversations about these really amazing people. So that's been really enjoyable. So the next thing that we typically do is do a poem. And the current book that we are working through, again, is Sing a Song of Seasons. These are nature poems every single day. And actually, I heard about this book here on YouTube over 2 years ago, and we bought this base. I was influenced by it, and it has not let me down. So the artwork is beautiful, the poem variation is lovely, and we just really enjoy this poem or poetry at the beginning. Now, we do have some other poetry books that we occasionally pull from, and like right now, we are using Bookshark Level A, which comes with Mother Goose and a poetry book. So sometimes we'll do that instead, but we do try to do some poetry in our morning. And then that is usually about 9 or 9:15, and then from there we move into our subjects. And what we do next, that really does vary. We go in waves and we've had to change things up. So like right now, what we tend to like to do is start our morning with news, CNN 10, and then we discuss it. And then right now we're working on some memory work. So we're actually learning the Pledge of Allegiance, both saying it out loud and sign language. So we will go through it both in sign and English as part of our morning. So that's currently what we're tacking on at the end, but that doesn't always happen. That when what comes after our poem really varies. And that's basically it, you guys. So my kids, this is kind of from, again, about 6:15, 6:30-ish to about 9 or 9:15. So it's 3 hours. It's very low key. And we're not getting into any curriculum, but we have some really good connection and we have some good rituals in place that kind of make our day go a little bit smoother. And again, like I said about this candle too, is when we are done with our school day, we blow it out. Or if we're leaving the house, we also blow it out and then we'll relight it when we come home. But that's actually been, again, a really nice way. So that's it, you guys. That's our morning currently and has been building to this point over the last 2 years. Comment down below. Let me know what your favorite part of the day is, as well as if you have any favorite morning routines. I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.